Well, hello there. This is Nampet. Well, it's the tale of Nampet anyway. But the amazing thing is, the flowers that came into bloom just before we got our water back.
We can't get your car to move because we can't take the brake off because there's no power in your car. And we're trying desperately to...
Good evening. Today's Tuesday the 7th of April. This is day 9 of lockdown in Thailand, and I really appreciate you visiting this channel. If you've not looked at my videos before, please consider subscribing. Hit the little button at the bottom, you'll be subscribed, and also consider hitting the bell. You'll be notified in your inbox of new videos. Well, due to this awful bloody virus, I'm helping out online with various people, especially here in Thailand, doing some web work, and it's a bit hectic. So for the last week I've been snowed under with trying to support people and give them some changes to their websites and changes to their online communities. But that's progressing, and the peak of that hurried activities hopefully curtailing, so I can get on to do a bit of routine now. This is a compilation of a few short trips I've made to Macro shopping. It was great, the first trip to Macro, to stock up on some of the things we needed, and it was very encouraging to see the amount of people that were there with masks. And interestingly, you could not get in without passing the temperature test, the gauge they put to your forehead and then show you the number. They actually pointed at your fit and then they show you the number on their little gun just to prove it's working. And obviously they won't let you in if you're not wearing a mask.
Plenty of people here at Macro today. It's quite busy actually, but people are observing the distancing, and majority of people, apart from kids, have got masks on. If you're looking at this and you're not wearing a mask when you're outside, you must be somewhere else other than Thailand, because typically Thai people wear masks every day because of the conditions of the air, and we're used to it. We don't mind being considered like, you know, Batman or a bank robber. I think it's good for us in this climate, and now we've got this virus with us, it's also very healthy for us. Well, that's a big box out of porn. What are you going to do with that?
Caramel cornflake.
Caramel cornflake.
Yeah.
Wow.
Homemade, darling. Safe for us.
This is Chiang Mai. She's calling out. She's very talkative. She's we've just fed her. Let me pick her up and show her to you. This is Chiang Mai. Yeah. She spends a lot of her time out and about, and she's just popped back this evening. There she goes. She's just popped back this evening with some food, and well, a moan, a complain. I know. She's got no burrs in her tail this week. If you didn't see that burr in her tail last time, it was really, I thought it was quite painful. So the hair was all caught up in it. Anyway, the interesting journeys to Macro. You can get all the stuff you want in Macro. It's all there. They have the stock. Sometimes they don't have quite the variety you need, as in the bagabong. Bagabong is a sardine in tomato sauce, and here in Thailand many households depend upon a particular brand, and of course there are a lot of confused people looking at the shelves when they couldn't see their particular brand of bagabong, their fish in tomato sauce. Our store in our home have got 8 or 9 different tins of it, but we'll run out in a couple of weeks, and I think Pidai will be very unhappy. We got everything else though, so that was a good trip. Midweek, got a call from a friend, Bob. Thanks, Bob. I got a call from Bob. He lives in Chiang Mai, which is about 200 kilometres north from here. But after he had done a few excursions on motorbike into Burma and thoroughly enjoyed himself taking photographs, and I thought he'd have wanted a couple of weeks off after that. Nope. He took his wife and daughter over to Vietnam. He wanted a holiday. And he went to Vietnam and spent a couple of weeks there. And then, of course, we had a lockdown. And he parked his car at a parking spot near to the airport. A company that allows you to park the car there, and they shuttle you to the airport. And he contacted me and said, can you go and pick my car up? He said, because they're shutting down. And true enough, all of the car parking spaces, the companies have been shut down. Bob said to me, can you go and pick up my car? So I said, yeah, sure, no problem at all. Just tell me where and give me a key. Well, he had the keys sent by mail to here, and I duly went along, paid for the storage, which wasn't that much money, but I paid for the storage, and then I pointed the remote at the car, dead. So we looked at the remote, no key obvious, and the car couldn't open it. So backwards and forwards in text messaging with Bob in Vietnam, and we find out we can pry open the remote and there's a little key in there. So I undo the door of the car, and sure enough, the battery of the car's dead. I think he'd left his mirror, which has a camera on it, plugged in, and that drained the battery. Okay, let's give it a jump. Well, there's these trees strategically placed so you park your car in between them for shade in this little rough car parking lot. And of course I couldn't get my truck next to the car easily to give it a jump.
We can't get your car to move because we can't take the brake off because there's no power in your car, and we're trying desperately to get to the front of it, but because of this wall here and because there's a tree behind the truck, we can't actually get over anywhere nearer to there. We've gone down the road to get a guy to come along with his electric leads, and he's given us the best he can, but we don't know whether we can do it.
So it's parked outside here now, and we'll repatriate Bob with his car when he comes back, when he's allowed back in the country. And that's another thing. Today's the 7th of April. Unfortunately, the no-flight ban into or out of the country is now until the 18th of April and may be extended. So Bob's stuck in Vietnam. He can't come back here. Anyway, I did another trip to Macro.
Well, we're on our way. No, we're not. I haven't got me money. I need to take some money with me. Forgot all about that. So preoccupied in putting my mask on and putting my glasses on. Okay, we're at Macro. Today is Monday, and rumour has it we may be in for some changes of lockdown. So we're needing to shop anyway, so I think we'll be getting a little bit nervous about what we don't have.
They've got plenty of mushrooms, but if I run out of white mushrooms, I never want to buy the portobello mushrooms again, the big brown ones. They gave me a stonking headache when I had them a few months back. Never get those again.
This has got to be my favourite aisle. I love the smells down here, and this is the Indian stuff I really enjoy.
Well, something quite trivial really I can bring to you that we've had happen in our home this week is that we have a water supply coming from the village, which is there's a borehole that goes down into the ground in the village, and then they stick one of these great towers up up on top of it, and then that gives you the pressure to pump through to your home. Last few months, it feels like a year, but I think it's about 6 months, we've had really low water pressure, and therefore we've not been able to water our plants very much. And Pitai's been stood there, I think you saw it in the previous video, she's been stood there with a little trickle of water coming out, and the water's just really low. And this week, amazingly, Saturday, they've repaired whatever they'd needed to repair, and now we've got a terrific pressure on our water here, and we've been watering, you know, everything was really now wet and damp. But the amazing thing is the flowers that came into bloom just before we got our water back, wonderful. Took a couple of photographs I'll showing you here. The beautiful blooms that we've got in the garden this week, despite the fact that we've had such dry conditions. It's really colourful, it's lovely to see.
Well, about a year ago, I wanted to get out for the day, and I fancied a drive up to Samung for lunch, and I drove up the Samung Road here, and thankfully they've realised that the sign that was here, I'll show you in another clip, has been removed. There was a sign with so many directions, locations along the Samung Road, destinations of tourist interest. It's not necessarily because the tourist interest has moved, but to have a sign, one sign that reached as high as here, sort of thing, was ridiculous. You couldn't take it all in driving past. I'm glad it's moved. Anyway, today I'm coming up the Samung Road to get some bananas, and that's for Pitai, and also some Malagor for the birds. I've run out. It's been a couple of days actually that I've run out. I felt really guilty looking at the birds waiting at the bird table. I apologised. I said sorry. We're in a busy situation at the moment, sat doing nothing at home. Anyway, I'm off out today to get some Malagor for the birds and hopefully keep them happy in the garden. Let's go and see the little lady at the side of the road. Hopefully she's there today. Well, I've given the money to the lady here, and she's filling the bag up with bananas, and she's also put a couple of Malagor in there. She's really low on Malagor. I've taken her last fruit. I feel she's possibly vulnerable because of the air she breathes from the road every day passing, and also from being here out on the Samung Road in the middle of the forest areas. You get a lot of the burning, so she's had a lot of smoke in her life. She's always got a little fire going on as well. It's pretty quiet out on the road today, but there's still, you know, a few little motorbikes going backwards and forwards. Normally you'll see lots of trucks up and down taking tourists out into the Samung Road. So I'm pleased that things are quieter because people are respecting the lockdown conditions. สวัสดีครับ
ขอบคุณเจ้าก
ลับบ้านเจอกันอาทิตย์หน้าครับ
อาทิตย์หน้าเจ้า
โอเคครับ
จ้า
สุขภาพดีนะ
ดีเจ้า
ขอบมากครับ
จ้าขอบคุณเจ้า
ขอบมากครับ
จ้า
Unfortunately, she'd run out of Malagor. She only had the one fruit, but I bought lots of bananas there, and I was able to pick up some other Malagor from a stall further on down the road. Doubled the price, well, almost trebled the price that I normally pay, but some good fruits all the same. So the birds have got some fruit. Hope they enjoy the fruit on the table. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed already, please do. Hit the little bell, you'll be notified in your inbox of new videos. Check the details below, you'll see maybe a link to where I've been and also some more information. Until next time, see you. Bye bye.